This video is going to show you how to create a Google form and the basic features. So first of all, on the screen you will see a quiz that I have created for my students. This is essentially what you will be doing and learning how to do in the next several videos. So first of all, it has the students' first and last names, and I'll explain how to do all of this in future videos. And then these are just multiple choice questions. Google Forms, you can create more than just multiple choice questions with Google Forms, but when you go to use the add-on called Flubaroo to grade it, multiple choice is the best type of question to grade. So that's what I'm going to be going over in these videos. So just to show you some examples, I have one that just has basic text and four choices for the multiple choice. And then another example, I have a picture with a question, and it's separated. Sorry about that. It's separated into sections, so you will see how the students have to hit continue to go on to the next questions. Okay, so I'll teach you that in future videos. So without further ado, how to access or to create a Google form, the very first thing you need to do is go to your Drive. So once you've gone to your Drive, you click New, and then under More will be the purple Google Forms, and that's what you would need to click. Alright, if yours doesn't show a screen like this, you may have a screen that looks something similar to this. I'm going to be using the new Google Forms because that is likely what it's going to default to in the future. So if you have something that looks like this, you might want to just hit the purple bar at the top because that's what these videos are going to be on. Okay, so first of all, this video is just going over the basic features. The next few videos will go through actually how to create it. So at the top here, your top toolbar, you have a color palette, and of course everybody likes color in their life and a little bit of pictures, so you can choose a certain background. Students love these. They just look forward to what the different background will be every time that you have a quiz. So I'll just choose the very first one, but there's several different ones: sports, travel, so you can add a theme to it, and students really like that. The next option next to the color palette is preview, and when you click preview, another tab will open, and this is where you'll see what your form will look like when you actually send it to your students. So that's important to know that that's there. For right now, I'm going to close that. Next is the little settings, and what I want to make sure that you always click is the very first option where it says automatically collect respondents' SWCS username. That is going to be very helpful when we use Flubaroo to grade it. So make sure that you do that. There's several other options that you can look into later, but for this video, we'll just leave everything else as is. The next button at the top right hand corner is the send, and this is going to be helpful when you want to send it to your students, and in future videos I'll show you exactly how to send it through Google Classroom. But there's several different options: adding a link, shortening the URL, copying, so that will come a little bit later. And the last thing, anytime that you see these three little dots, that shows more options, and this is where you can make a copy of your form, do several other options, and including add collaborators. So if you're going to be working with multiple teachers to create a pre-assessment or a post-assessment, adding the collaborators in this section is very important so you can all work on the form at the same time. Okay, so let's go down the right here. There's several different options. In the center you have your questions, and the little plus sign will allow you to add another question. As you can see, when you do so, a drop-down menu opens up, and there are several different types of questions that you can add: short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, and several others. So, like I said, for these, mostly we'll be using multiple choice, but there are other options, so don't forget about those other options when you are creating your Google form. Next, you can add a title to your form. Actually, there's already one that defaults, and it defaults as untitled. So when you are creating your form, one of the first things that you need to do is title it and I'm going to just title it like that, and as you see, it comes up on the title as well. If I go out to Drive now, if I go to my Drive, practice form for Academy class is now in my Drive. If I wanted to add another title to another question, I could add it and then it'll appear down here, and eventually I'll show you how to drag and drop those. Going down on the right side, you can add images, add videos, which I'll show you how to do that in the next video, and then you can add another section. When you add a section, it's like a page break. The students will have to go to the next page, and sometimes that's nice when you have pictures and video for the students to not have too many questions on a page. So that is all over there. Some of the basics in the center portion, you can add a description here under the title if you want to give some directions. When you go to create your questions in the next video, it's very important to know that you can drag the questions up and down using these two little horizontal lines, and I'll show you that in the next video. The last thing is that the top here it says questions and responses. Responses, you'll be able to see some data on this page right here, and then eventually we'll be able to look at it in a spreadsheet form. So this video just went over the basics, so hopefully you'll be able to use this to create your Google Forms. Thanks.